It is my honor to introduce His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of Kenya, as the chairperson of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. He represents 48 countries from Sub-Saharan Africa, 16 from the Caribbean, and 15 from the Pacific, whose main aims are sustainable development and poverty reduction within its member states. His passion for the blue economy has positioned him as the patron of the high-level panel on sustainable blue economy, a panel of 14 countries that have come together with a shared vision of the ocean. His priority agenda for the youth led to his endorsement by world leaders as the global champion of the Young People's Agenda in 2018 by the United Nations, which has acted as a rallying call to get every young person into quality education, training, or employment by 2030. Back home, he has been leading the transformation of the agricultural sector through the pillar of food security in his Big Four agenda. Your Excellencies, I present my President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, Your Excellency, former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Hailemariam Desalegn, all our wonderful guests across the world, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct pleasure and a very high privilege for me to welcome you all to the Africa Green Revolution Forum 2021 Summit. And let me say, Karibuni Kenya, although virtual, it is wonderful to have you all with us. Your Excellencies, permit me to commence my remarks by extending my gratitude to all of you for joining us today as we convene under the auspices of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa to reflect on the bold steps that our respective governments are taking to transform our respective food systems. On behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, I want to thank you for honoring Kenya by granting us the privilege of hosting once again the Africa Green Revolution Forum Summit. This 2021 summit offers an opportune moment for all our nations to put our thoughts together, accelerate action, and make commitments to deliver resilient food systems for our continent and our people. We convene amidst a disruption that has caused untold grief and strain to the lives and livelihoods of millions in our countries, across the continent, and globally. No aspect or sector of social economic life has been spared. The enormous pressure on our food systems caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects has exposed the vulnerabilities of our food systems and reversed hard-earned gains that we had secured earlier. Just as an example, two of the greatest drivers of agriculture are the manufacturing sector and the hospitality sector. Travel restrictions have severely constrained the hospitality sector, which has in turn led to subdued uptake of agricultural produce that causes massive losses to farmers. In light of the realities that we are confronted with, now more than ever, the call to accelerate action and make increased commitments to deliver resilient food systems is urgent. Therefore, at this year's forum, we must identify immediate actions and steps that are required to accelerate progress and recovery action, and make increased commitments to deliver progress and recovery targeted interventions that address water scarcity, climate change, land pressure, and the competition between subsistence food crops and export cash crops, from the grassroots at the village and the local level, all the way to the national level. 4 critical pathways and priorities for Kenya's food systems were identified, and these actions are youth, digital innovation, diverse diets, and climate change. Specifically, we aspire to increase the number of young people receiving school-based agricultural education, increasing the uptake of digital agricultural solutions, improving the diversity of diets, including fresh fruit, vegetables, dairy, meat, fish, as well as grains, and lastly, to heighten climate action to build resilience of our agriculture and food systems generally. Further, the agricultural sector transformation and growth strategy that my administration is currently reforming the sector by increasing output and productivity, boosting incomes in agribusiness, and ensuring household resilience and food security. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I call upon each one of us, both state and non-state actors, to use this Africa Green Revolution Forum to make commitments towards transforming our food systems. On our part, Kenya is making tremendous efforts to foster the realization of this shared aspiration among all nations of the world. As we all undoubtedly appreciate, our youth and our children have been raised with the perception that agriculture is an antiquated and cultural sector, or in the emerging areas of digital content and ICT. In order to overcome these negative perceptions and to show our children and youth the nobility as well as the profitability of agriculture, we are elevating the place of agriculture in our schools by revitalizing the 4K clubs. We are doing this because Kenya's 31,218 primary schools and their enrollment of close to 10 million school-going children offers a vast network through which knowledge about food and nutrition security can be boosted. The revitalized 4K clubs will provide a holistic approach to positive youth development at home, school, and also within the community by building on the strength of the youth as active agents of community development. Through these clubs, the values of patriotism, volunteerism, and the dignity of agriculture will be inculcated in our children during their early formative years. Further, as a leader in school meals programs since the 1980s, Kenya is also taking an active role in the UN Food Systems Summit School Meals Coalition. Worldwide today, 388 million school children have been receiving school meals since the pandemic struck. Together with our partners, including the World Food Programme and the African Union, we will work to find sustainable and innovating funding sources for schools, feeding programs, and with the multiple stakeholders to achieve better outcomes for school children globally. So, Your Excellencies, as I conclude, I want to invite this summit to ponder our current crisis and to ponder so boldly, frankly, and with a spirit of hope in the possibilities that we can make a reality. Let us reflect on the words of President J.F. Kennedy, who once famously said, and I quote, "The war against hunger is truly mankind's war of liberation," end of quote. We have an opportunity to fundamentally recast the position of food and nutrition security in our countries, in the continent, and globally. If we have the will, I believe we can find the way. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I want to have the great pleasure of declaring the African Green Revolution Forum 2021 Summit officially opened, and I wish each and every one of us very fruitful deliberations. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for setting the stage, and thank you for agreeing to be part of the presidential summit that's going to happen in a couple of minutes' time, along with your fellow presidents, heads of state from Rwanda, Uganda, Djibouti, Namibia, the Vice President of Tanzania also online, and also Malawi as well. Thank you for your time, Mr. President. Once again, round of applause for the host president, Uhuru Kenyatta.